Morning, it's moving day today, so it's breakfast time. We're gonna have some porridge and Simon's gonna make some coffee. We've still got service here, which is good because Harrison's got school at 10 o'clock. So we're gonna aim to be packed up, ready to go with just the school workout, do the school Zoom meeting with the teacher, and then be on our way up the hill. We're going to Talbingo to restock some water, and then
we're going to show you Talbingo. There's a good playground there. The kids will have a play on the playground, and then we're going to head up the mountain, which is a pretty steep climb, but not that far, up to Yarrangobilly, try and find somewhere to camp up there. And then tomorrow we're going to hit up the caves and the thermal pool, so that'll be fun.
I'm so excited. Also, I've just seen how I look. Wow, wowzers. Might have to delete this clip.
I need to grind coffee, it's going to be noisy.
So Simon's been staying up late watching YouTube videos.
I went to bed at 10, it's not that late.
So late on how to froth milk properly.
Oh, yeah. I've been learning barista skills on YouTube.
Nailed it. That was pretty good, Dal.
Oh, nailed it. It was perfect.
You did.
I didn't even hit a tree.
No, you missed it by like that. It's good. I've just had a shower, so because I know we're going to fill up the water tanks, I'm just like, the longest shower. So washed my hair, shaved my legs. It's been amazing. I feel so clean. Let's go.
Righto. Now you've had that overshare, let's go. Talbingo, here we come. Let's get out of here. Rightio, so we made it into Talbingo. So far, Talbingo and Tumut have had awesome facilities for caravanners, so easy to access dump points with fresh water nearby. The Tumut one had bins as well, which was good. There's no bins at the one here at Talbingo, but either way, being able to get easy access to fresh water makes so much difference, and it means you can stay in an area for so much longer when you got easy access to water, and just knowing that it's encouraged, not discouraged, that there's a sign on there saying it's for overuse. So.
And I think it's something that people have to really process when they're at home on the couch thinking about, how am I going to get water? Where am I going to get it from? Like, where do I get that much water? Towns have taps that are designed for caravans.
Well, good ones do. Not all of them do. Yeah, not all of them do, but
yes.
Good ones do. And Wikicamps is your go-to for that. Like, there's all the points are on there on Wikicamps, and most of them have got good reviews as well, so you can figure out whether it's going to be suitable for whatever setup you've got. So this is Janama Creek campground that we were talking about the other day. We just came in here to get a few shots to show you guys. This is one of our favourite camping spots up in this area as well, especially when the dam isn't as full. Sometimes when the dam's not quite as full, it's not quite as nice camping down there. So this is our pick, beautiful big grassy area, nice flat sides, fire pits, picnic tables, and you've got toilets here as well if you need them. The creek's also a great spot for a swim when the weather's a little bit warmer. Unfortunately, it got hit by the fires a few years ago, and the growth that's come back, it's sort of pretty overgrown now with weeds and stuff. It used to look a lot nicer, but hopefully it'll come back as the native vegetation catches back up. So we've just been into Talbingo, topped up on water and gave the kids a play on that playground that we were talking about. A very snowy hydro inspired playground, that one. Plenty of pipes and stuff there. The kids love that one, that big barrel spinny thing. They play on that for ages. Talbingo itself is quite a small little sleepy village. There's a cafe and a general store and a couple of other small knick-knack shops. There is a service station there, a petrol station, but it's under renovation at the moment, so just check that if you rely on that for fuel, whether that's reopened or not. There's also a caravan park in Talbingo. If that's more your style, you can always hit up the caravan park there. So Talbingo lies on the shores of the Talbingo Reservoir, which is another one of these big dams in the area that are all part of the Snowy Hydro scheme. So now we're back on the Snowy Mountains Highway. From here, the road is climbed pretty steeply up the mountain range. We're going to start making our way up to the top of the range, up into Kosciuszko National Park and towards the Yarrangobilly area. Tonight we're going to camp at another one of our favourite areas, the Long Plain area of Kosciuszko National Park. It's in the northern section of the park there, up near Yarrangobilly. We're going to use that as a base camp to go and explore the caves, and there's some hot springs and stuff up there, so really looking forward to that. It's only about 40 k's from Talbingo up to Long Plain and Yarrangobilly, so we'll stay in the low gears, get the Ranger up the hill, drag the van up, and let's get up to Long Plain and see what our next camp looks like.
Listen up, I gotta tell you, there is something you should know. I have never really liked you at all. I cannot hide it anymore.
This is amazing. It's so good. Look at this.
I've been thinking about the future.
It's interesting to see which plants are growing back first. Like you got the wattles and the, I want to say it's Happy Wanderer, but it's not. It's like that purpley one.
To begin, if I allow myself to dream, will it be as good as it seems? Pull me out.
This truly is a really special area, the Australian Alps region. If you haven't visited it, I hope that this video that we're doing really inspires you to add it to your list and come and check it out. It certainly doesn't make the top of a lot of people's list, but it shouldn't be left out of any trip, I don't think. If you've got the opportunity to come and visit the Australian Alps region at any time of year, I strongly encourage you to do it. It's just something that will leave you blown away in awe of the incredible beauty, the biodiversity, just how special this place and unique this place is. It's like nothing else in the country, nowhere else on earth.
Take me up into the mountains, send me off into the wild.
Well, this is pretty good, eh? We'll get used to this view, I reckon. Not a huge campground, but plenty of spots and no designated spots, so you just camp wherever the kids are yelling at me to get them out of the car. And really good location for exploring the area. So pretty keen to, we'll definitely do at least a few nights here and go and check out the caves and stuff and go for a swim. Been a long time since I've been for a swim in the hot springs, so yeah, looking forward to it.
It's at least 5 degrees cooler up here in the mountains than it is down there. I think we're like 1,158 meters above sea level at the moment, and it's just gorgeous. You cannot beat these alpine views. Something I really want to find though is some billy buttons. It's springtime here at the moment, and billy buttons are my favorite. Oh, like little flower. So they're like the little long stick yellow balls. Love them. Love them.
We're also a good chance of seeing some Brumbies. We've always seen Brumbies when we've come up to this area, so I reckon, I don't know, it all depends where they're up to with their culling, because they often cull them up here, but a few years ago you couldn't drive a few hundred metres without seeing one, but I have heard that I think they've knocked a few off, so there might be a few less around, but I reckon we're still a good chance of seeing some. We could hear some before, and there's plenty of signs of them around. There's plenty of droppings and stuff in the campsites. We've had them camping up here before in this area of Kosciuszko years ago in our camper trailer, and we've had them coming right up under the awning and trying to get through your food and everything like that. You really got to be vigilant about keeping everything locked up at night, especially your rubbish and food scraps and things like that. They will come right into your campsite. They'll come and stamp out your fires. They're pretty friendly. They're not too worried about humans. So yeah, as much as they're nice to look at, they can be a pest. Well, they are a pest, and they can be a bit of a problem around camp. So you do have to be a little bit vigilant.
If people are out there watching going, oh, I'd be so worried about my kids. I am. Look at this. Harrison. What are you doing up there, mate?
Climbing.
Harrison, can you make your way down, please?
One down.
Because
we don't always put our awning out. I'm not going to put the awning out tonight, but if there's a bit of rain comes or something like that, we might put it out. But at the moment, it's pretty cool here, so we'd want as much sun coming into the van as we can to warm us up. And it's But yeah, check out this view, bloody awesome view where we are. So looking forward to spending a good few days here, like we said, and we're just going to settle in now. I think I might have a beer. Liz, I don't know what Liz is up to, making a snack I think, and have some afternoon tea. It's sort of mid-arvo now. We'll settle in. I don't think we'll have a fire tonight. We don't have a lot of wood, and it's pretty rubbish wood, the bloody stuff from the service station. So kids have met some other kids that are camping here, and they're out and playing around on their bikes. So should be a nice chilled out arvo, I reckon.
All right, morning. This morning we're hitting the tracks.
G'day there. Yeah, we've left camp this morning. We've just come back down the highway a little bit towards Talbingo, about 10-15 k's. We just turned off onto the Cumberland Trail, which is a little four-wheel drive track, which we're hoping is going to take us through to Landers Creek Falls. We have no idea what to expect of this track. I think it's going to be fairly tame. We know nothing about this. We just saw it on the sign yesterday at the lookout as we were heading up the hill and thought that could be a bit of fun, so we thought we'd give it a crack. So we're just going to air down and get into it. Alrighty, so we've aired down, let their tyres down to about 20 pound, or in fact exactly 20 pound all the way around. I don't think it's going to be anything too gnarly, this track, but just makes the ride a lot more comfortable. Gives you that extra suspension of having the tyres let down nice and low and plenty of traction, so just makes it a lot more enjoyable. Just driving through this eucalypt forest, you can see the effects of the fires still from a few years ago. The regrowth is pretty prolific, but there's still definitely the scars of the fires from a few years ago. They were pretty ferocious fires back in 2020 or late 2019, the summer of 1920. Beautiful drive through the forest. It's been a long time since we've gone off-road and put it in four-wheel drive. So I thought it was a good opportunity to do a bit of four-wheel driving, go for a bit of a walk and go and find a waterfall, all of our favourite things. Well, we made it in here. That was a pretty good fun drive, easy one. I reckon that only took us, I don't know, it's hard to say, maybe 15 minutes if you weren't stopping to film and stuff. So from here, as we said, it's about a K and a half into the waterfall. We're just going to get our gear sorted. There is also a longer hike you can do from here called the Talbingo Mountain Trail. It's about 9 k's return, but it's also a mountain bike trail. So I think we're going to ditch a bit of clothing. The day's starting to warm up now. Ditch a bit of clothing, get our hiking gear on, load a couple of backpacks up and get out of here.
They must have them right there.
Rightio, so we've decided we're going to have a bite to eat before we go for a walk. Saves us carrying as much food and saves the whinging starting before we even kick off. I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the stuff we're going to take on this hike, and I want you guys to learn from our mistake. We are hopeless at taking the safety gear that we have with us in the car with us all the time, namely the PLB and the snakebite first aid kit. So we have this little PLB. You've probably seen this on the grab handle in the four-wheel drive. You've probably seen this on the grab handle in the Ranger when we're driving around. This is just a little personal locator beacon. They're called basically a emergency satellite beacon. If things go really pear-shaped in a life-death situation, that's what you're going to use. We also have one of these survival first aid kits that we carry around with us. These are brilliant. Yeah, but not just for snakebite kit either. Obviously, the bandages and everything in there can be used for sprains, strains, any common injuries like that you're likely to have on a hike. For this one as well, I'm going to throw in our 5-watt handheld UHF. Even though we're not super remote as far as proximity to towns, it is easy to forget how remote you are. I mean, we just drove 10 k's off the we just drove 5 k's off the highway, didn't see another vehicle. There's no one else here in the car park, and we're about to walk another 2 k's into basically what is basically wilderness. So
no service.
There's no phone service here in the park. Well, 99% of the park has no phone service at all. So it's pretty easy to get complacent and forget just how remote you are. And if things did go pear-shaped, I think you'd very quickly feel pretty remote. It's only a short hike, this one, but it's just I guess you don't realise how remote you are, or how, not just remote, but how hard it would be to get help if we needed it. You happy with that?
Yeah.
Imagine if I acted like a child. Ready? Watch this. Oh, look! Oh, actually, that's really cool. It's like a big tunnel under there.
My hair's in the way, that's for sure. Neated. So I reckon that's about 1,000 steps.
Can't hear.
Worried about Show Daddy that little bug you've got.
This is one of the perks of hiking with kids is I would never stop to look at the tiny minuscule bugs that are on the flowers, but the kids just have an eye for it. They're like little hawks and they just go find the most intricate little things, or just things that adults would just walk straight past. And because you're stopping all the time for them, you just absorb so much of what's actually around you. Yeah, it's more about the journey than it is about the destination, if that makes sense. Like, the hike itself as a family is just as rewarding and just as special as the actual view at the end. So yeah, we love it. It's our favourite family activity, I reckon. Oh wow, holy smokes, we are so high. Look up there, that's where we're going. Oh, this is so beautiful. You can see like right down into the valley. Did you, buddy?
We've got
Great job, I've got more for you. Is that like the Blowering Dam? That's Talbingo, right?
Talbingo Reservoir.
That's Talbingo Reservoir. That's so cool.
It is a solid reminder of how high we are. I did not expect to get a view quite like this, right out to the Talbingo Reservoir there, which is where we started yesterday. So we can hear the falls down in the canyon below us, but we can't see them from here. We've got about another 300 metres to go to walk around and up this escarpment here to get right up on top of the cliff. We can see the lookout from here, and it's going to be even more impressive than this, which is pretty exciting because this is bloody awesome. I had no idea. We've been coming to the Kosciuszko region and this part of the park as well. Like, Kosciuszko is a huge park, but we've been coming to this area of the park for years now and had no idea that this was even here. This is epic. I don't know how we didn't know about this, but if you didn't know about it and you're coming to the area, I highly recommend it. It's certainly a very achievable four-wheel drive track. Don't be scared off by that. It's very, very straightforward as far as four-wheel driving goes. Quite an easy walk. The last little bit there was a bit of a rock scramble up, but certainly it only went for about 100 metres, so very, very achievable walk and extremely rewarding. This is epic. I love this. Like, it just
stunning.
Yeah, I mean, it's so sad to see the devastation by the fires, but at the same time, to see the amount of regrowth and how alive the undergrowth is pretty awesome to see.
Dare I say, it is my favourite national park.
and it has some of my favourite campgrounds. But it also has some of my favourite memories ever of like us just being a couple and a young family camping and just spending time together. I reckon Kosciuszko's, it's my place. Holy smokes.
Wowee.
This is one of the most impressive falls because you can just see how far it goes. You can pretty much see it from the top all the way down in the valley. It follows through and down to the reservoir in Talbingo. Like it just,
unreal.
It's the view from here is
just the scale of it is just so hard to comprehend. It just feels almost fake, like you're watching something on TV, but it's in real life in front of you. It's going to be so hard for us to, we always struggle with big views like this and just massive landscapes to really do it justice on film, and we normally rely on the drone to do a lot of that for us, which does a bloody good job, but unfortunately because we're in Kosciuszko, you can't fly drones here at all anywhere in the park, so you're just going to have to trust us and believe us and come here and see it for yourself.
This is so good. Like you just, it's so hard to capture. It's just beautiful. It like, the view is from here to there. Like it's 290 degrees of view. Even this is stunning. Let's call it 360. It's beautiful. And we're just like perched up on this rock escarpment. It's bloody magical.
Just sitting here looking out at the Talbingo Reservoir and imagining, and maybe I'll do it one day, but imagining getting in a little boat, something you could sleep overnight in, like a little half cabin or something that we could go out in, and just exploring some of the inlets and stuff on the reservoir down there, getting into some of this really remote country. Imagining what it'd be like to get a boat right up into this inlet here and then hike up this river to the waterfall. It'd be pretty cool too. But I do this a lot when we go to places, particularly remote places, and just fantasize about different adventures we could go on and different ways that we could explore the landscape and the terrain and stuff. I don't know what it is, but I just can't help myself. It's like you can't drive down a road without looking at a track that goes off to the side and wondering where it goes, you know? Like, yeah, it's just in your blood, I suppose. It's just that curiosity, adventure. You just want to get out there and see it all, but get away from it all at the same time, and yeah, just try and go places where hardly anyone or maybe no one's ever been before. You know, people ask you, how can you keep travelling Australia for year after year after year? Haven't you seen it all? Like, haven't even scratched the surface. And even the places we've been, I want to go back to and do it differently or do it the same way again. It's just, yeah, you'll never be done. The kids are starting to get a bit itchy feet again. They're trying to explore a bit too far, making us nervous near these cliff edges, so it might be time to pack up and head down, I think, and get out of here.
Popping corn.
Popping corn, holy dooly. All right, we've made it back to camp. We're just getting some dinner knocked up. We got back a bit later than we were planning on it. We were on track to get it back at a nice time. Went and did a bit of a reconnaissance on a campground for next time, and bumped into some fellow travellers and ended up stopping and having a yarn for quite a while. So by the time we did that and went and did a bit of a recce at Yarrangobilly Caves, time's got away on us, so it's dinner time. So we're knocking up dinner. I'll tell you about the caves soon. Dinner tonight is a simple affair. You've probably seen us do this before. It's nachos in a bowl. So we're doing chicken nachos tonight. So it's sort of like a burrito bowl, but with corn chips. I don't know what you'd call it, but it's our little, oh, it is popping. Just got some corn on. Oop. So, capsicum, we just had some capsicum fried up some frozen corn, gonna do some onions, some chicken. Liz is doing some salad stuff inside. What do you got going on?
Cheese, avocado, tomato, spinach,
All the good
usual.
stuff.
All the
We're gonna have a quick dinner tonight. Early one for us, and then we'll be up back down the caves in the morning, go on a tour and check out a couple of caves down there. We'll tell you a bit more about that tomorrow when we're down there, about your options and whatnot down there. For now though, it's a quick dinner and into bed. All right guys, we'll see you in the morning.
Dad, we just ate the chips.
What have you done?
I just got swooped by a magpie.
It was hilarious. One of the funniest things I've seen in ages. It was bloody good. Ah, it was so good. Watching Liz duck for cover, jumping down. She was out there trying to get some shots of the caravan. Out there trying to do some filming and taking some photos and that, and just got absolutely annihilated by this magpie. It was hilarious.
Tell you what, it's an OH&S issue to YouTube life is wildlife encounters.
Well, good morning. A much warmer night last night. It didn't get anywhere near as cold as it did the night before. And we've woken up to blue skies. The cloud has cleared, but we've got this unreal fog. I don't know, the sun's right over there, so it's a bit hard to see, but there's this fog just rolling up the valley. It looks unreal. Such a cool way to wake up. It's just something about this landscape that fog just looks perfectly at home here. Probably because it is. I don't know, it just brings out a really cool feeling in the landscape. It's just this fog in the morning and it looks like it's going to burn off pretty quickly. The sun's blaring down already. This morning, I'm going to cook up a bit of brekkie. Something a little bit different though, something that we used to do quite a lot of actually when we were camping on weekends in our camper trailer a few years ago. It's basically just a big one pot cook up. Sorry about this sun, it's pretty hard to film. I've got this sun blaring straight down. Anyway, so I've just chopped up some chorizo, some capsicum, some red onion. We also had a bit of celery in the fridge. I haven't put celery in it before, but that'll go well in it as well. So I just chopped up a little bit of celery and then just some beans. You can use any sort of beans for it. I've used just straight baked beans before. Today we got some white beans that were dried that Liz has had soaking to get them ready. So they're soaked overnight. And then just some tinned tomatoes. I've got 2 tins there. And then just a couple of herbs and spices. Bit of paprika, a bit of cumin. Throw all that in. Cook it all up. Let it simmer down. And then we'll drop a couple of eggs in the top of it. And they just poach in the juices. And then knock that up in a bowl and happy days. It's bloody beautiful. So got the capsicum and the onion in there browning, just throw a bit of paprika and cumin in there. Fair bit of paprika, a little bit of cumin, a bit of black pepper. You can do a bit of salt too to taste. I'll do that at the end because there's a fair bit of salt in the chorizo, so I'll give it a taste at the end and see how it's going. But it's starting to look good, getting a fair bit of colour in there. I'll just throw this celery in and start to get that to sweat down a bit. It smells really good. You could have this for bloody dinner or lunch or anything. It's just and it's a good one for on the campfire too. If you got a campfire going, get it on the campfire. It's bloody good. Righto, we'll let that sweat down a little bit, and then we'll get the tomatoes in. Get a bit of juice happening. Get the beans into it, and then once that cooks down a bit, we'll throw the eggs in. I've thrown a little bit of water in and the tomato in the can of tomatoes, and then I'll just let them simmer for 15 or 20 minutes while I go and make coffee. And then we'll throw the eggs in at the end, and they don't take too long to cook the eggs. Bloody beautiful here this morning. It's actually really warm. We're back into t-shirts again. I was just sitting out here in my chair getting quite hot in the sun. It's a beautiful warm morning. That fog's burnt off now. Looks bloody sensational. I'm just going to knock a few eggs in there without the shells. Straight in top like that. Probably do 4 in this one. I don't think the kids are going to eat much of this. I'll just wash my hands. Wash my hands. Grass is still a bit dewy. Yeah, so we'll just leave that in there now. I'm going to throw the lid back on just to keep the heat in on top of the eggs, but they won't take too long to cook. Once they're all cooked up, then we'll dish it up and show you what she looks like. But it smells unreal. Oh, that sun is bloody bright. Anyway, I just turned it off. Eggs look bloody beautiful. Eggs are done. Let's dish it up, see what it tastes like. Good, eh?
Really good. It's like...
Well, I think that's a bloody winner. That's delicious. Nice hot breakfast. We're going to rip into this, enjoy a bit of this sunshine, and then we'll jump in the car and head down to Yarrangobilly and check out these caves. And the boys are dead keen to jump in that hot spring. So, yeah,
Hot spring is a stretch.
Sorry, I think hot spring's false advertising, by the way. It's more of a lukewarm spring.
It's 27 degrees.
I wouldn't call 27 degrees a hot spring, but anyway, it'll do. It's the best we got at the moment. It certainly beats swimming in the rivers or anything around here, or the lakes, because they're about 2.7 degrees, so yeah, we'll take it. Anyway, I'm going to finish this up and we'll get in the car and get on the road after about an hour of getting ready, getting swimming gear ready, all of that.
All right, so we're here at Yarrangobilly. We've made it in this morning. We've got ourselves some tickets to the to a guided cave tour. But first we're going to do the self-guided South Glory caves. And so we can take the boys in there and show them all the stalactites, stalagmites. I love caves. They're such cool parts. Like literally they're cool. They're cool. They're such a cool thing to explore and see. And just love it. So let's roll. Let's see how we go.
For the 2 caves, 1 guided, 1 self-guided, is $110 for us. Kids, I think it's kids 5 and under are free, or maybe under 5 are free. There is a 3rd one as well. And in school holidays and peak times, there are other tours and stuff that they run as well, but that's all that's running at the moment. I should say they don't call it a hot spring, they call it a thermal pool, so I might have to take back what I said about it being false advertising. But anyway, that breakfast was bloody delicious.
Oh my gosh, that was so good.
Fueled us right up, so we're ready to go. The boys are full of energy. Let's go.
We only ate half of it, so the rest of it's in the fridge,
yeah,
ready to go for tomorrow
might be a reheat
morning.
for tomorrow morning's breakfast, I think.
Oh my gosh, this is insane.
Well, that is definitely a cave. That's
Holy
quite a lot
smokes.
bigger than I was expecting.
Wow.
Yeah. This is
huge.
This is going to be hard to get this scale of this, but
Holy smokes. Oh my goodness.
There's like so much wildlife in here, and the water trickling down. I think it's limestone creating the stalagmites. What do you say? They might grow up.
they might reach the roof one day and they...
No, that's
stalactites hold on tight
tight
to the roof.
Yes.
And the stalagmites might reach the roof one day.
Yeah, stalactites and stalagmites. It's just, it's so incredible in here. It's just beautiful. It's almost like a giant cathedral of some sort.
Like a natural cathedral.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it is so dark in here. It's so incredible. It's just, I don't know where to look. It's just like amazing. Just the geology of this place is incredible. It is worth every cent. Look at this, the kids are just in Candyland. They're loving it. They're like, yeah, I'll be there in a second, let's go.
This is where it's been collapsing.
Where it's been collapsing. Wow, look at all these stalactites.
Patty, isn't it beautiful? Finally.
Holy smokes, that was incredible.
I don't know if you can tell, I'm a bit out of breath. There's a lot of stairs in there at the end to get up, but and we're in a bit of a rush to try and make this next tour. But anyway, let's get on with it.
It got skinny down here.
This is so cool.
I know that you are having a hard time right now. That everything seems to crumble around you.
Another kid going straight. Come fly with me.
I know that you feel all alone in this world, but you have to put your trust into us, and we will help.
No, because you got floats.
Well, that concludes our Yarrangobilly cave and thermal pools adventure. This place is sensational. The water is not what you would consider, what I would consider warm, but it's certainly warm enough to go for a swim. This place has just been amazing. Like, we've just been completely blown away. Sorry about the wildlife. It's by far exceeded our expectations. Like I said before, we've been here before on like weekends away and just thought, nah, we're not going to spend the money and do that. But it is well and truly worth it. Get yourself here, see the caves, get yourself to the thermal pool. It's more of a man-made structure than a like natural thermal pool, but it's kind of great for the kids. All right, well that wraps up this week's episode. Thanks for watching. As always, huge shout out to our Patreon community. You guys are the best. We love you guys, and thank you so much for supporting our channel. All right, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Bye. He could talk to you about batteries for hours. Seriously, hours and hours.
So could you, apparently.
I could too now, because I've heard hours and hours and hours. Sounds good.
Grab this camera for me.
Yeah, I just buckle in. Do you know where the cover
That's
for
still
that is?
recording and everything.
Watts and amps. He gets excited just hearing the word amps, don't you, Dal?
You want to do anything else for that? Say it again.
Good morning.
G'day.
Rise and shine.
Hang on, let me get that.
And by good morning,
That
I mean
hair
it's
out of
almost afternoon. Here, let me push that button.
What are you doing?
Background defocus.
I just turned it off.
Well, it was fuzzy. We were
Because I put
fuzzy.
my hand in front of it.
Oh.
Focus on me, you bastard. We are pumped, if you can't tell. We're really looking forward to that.
Pumped, pun intended.
Pumped?
Yeah.
Where's the pun in pumped?
Well, it's like the water's pumping.
Oh, the water's pumping and so are we?
Yeah.
I don't think we should tell people we're pumping on camera, Dale. I was just outside a minute ago filming a couple of cockatoos that were wandering around, and the camera came up and said, battery exhausted. And I thought to myself, it's alright, battery. I know how you feel. Hey Harrison, could you just hit the record button on the camera for me? Once you got your magpie shot.
This is gorgeous stuff.
Oh no, hit it again,
Hit
mate.
it again for me,
Mum
Dale.
stitched you up. Boys, this way.
Oh, this way.
No, that's the wrong way.
Open